Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray. I'm a detransition male, and today I want to talk about why trans women on Reddit are so male brained. So, the impetus for this conversation today is this thread here on the M to F subreddit. What's everyone here do for work? So, what do fellow trans women do to put food on the table? So just to set some context for this, this is what Chat GPT says are the 20 most common occupations for men and women, just so you can see um, a pattern, because there is a pattern in the types of occupations that interest men versus women. And this generally tracks the most fundamentally well observed empirical sex differences between males and females, which is that males are more interested in things and women are more interested in people. So if you just keep that in mind, to be classically, prototypically, archetypically male brained is to have an interest in things, whereas the prototypical archetypal feminine female pattern is to be interested in people. So the 20 most common occupations for men: laborers and freight, stock and material movers, drivers, sales workers and truck drivers, construction laborers, carpenters, managers, software developers, maintenance and repair workers, retail salespersons, first line supervisors, janitors and cleaners, electricians, food prep, cooks, assemblers and fabricators, ground maintenance workers, plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, first line supervisors of production operating workers, welders, cutters, solderers, brazers, machinery mechanics, automotive service technicians. In contrast, the top 20 most common occupations for women are registered nurses, school teachers, secretaries, nursing assistants, cashiers, retail salespersons, home health and personal care aides, office clerks, supervisors of retail sales workers, customer service reps, maids and house cleaners, receptionists, childcare, waiters and waitresses, medical assistants, administrative support supervisors, bookkeeping, teachers' assistants, healthcare support occupations, accountants, and auditors. Okay, so keep that in mind as I look through this thread on Reddit in regards to what do trans women on Reddit do for work. So EMT on a rural ambulance, archaeologist, teach computers, electrician, a photographer, academic, a brewer, air traffic controller, a cashier, a computer programmer, registered nurse, IT and EHR administration, VP at insurance industry. It's very common for males to be more in the executive suite. Tattoo artist, horticulturalist, mechanic, unemployed, a chef on a mine site, babysitter at 35,000 feet. I don't know what that means. Customer support, planning to become a programmer, mathematical physicist, pizza delivery, ombudsman, electrologist, disabled, a driver for funeral homes, an engineer at big pharma company, policy analyst, musician, tennis, data scientist, economist, video game service platform engineer, cybersecurity and cloud infrastructure, gardener, astronomer turned data engineer scientist, works at a casino, commercial truck driver, aircraft mechanic, software engineer, boatswain on merchant vessels, a nurse, dog daycare, a forklift driver, warehouse, worked in finance, machine and tool fabrication, ecologist, night shift security, IT support and technician, app delivery driver, wildlife technician, research lab, an orderly at a healthcare, stay-at-home mom, lawyer, aerospace engineering, music composition, director at a small art center, um, secretary and adult entertainer, electrician, sailor, rocket scientist, uh, engineer of some type, researcher, flight paramedic, truck driver, IT infosec, IT, public safety disaster response, nurse, research archivist, microbiology, um, hotel, pharmacy technician, parcel delivery, counselor, criminal justice, horticulturalist, athletic trainer, shelf packer, uh, um, infiltration research, art design, cinema, software programmer, um, concrete, a truck mixer, engineer, auto parts factory, paramedic supervisor, construction, house building, barmaid, medical student, pre-construction engineer, analyst, server, letter carrier, works at an oil refinery, business owner, fiction editor, microbiology and genetics, art teacher, cybersecurity and IT, retail, title review for a mortgage company, creative marketing for an app company, IT strategist, farm equipment parts warehouse, sales, sales support, administration, security, urban planner, works in an electronics store, factory setting up machines, software work, building inspector, UX design, programmer, programming, software engineers, customer service, automotive wellness practitioner, mechanic, weapons manufacturing, pharmacy tech, IT consultant programmer, gymnastics coach, software developer, programmer, IT, computers, industrial production, IT tech, firefighter, aspiring cosmetologist and esthetician, works for e-commerce, IT systems admin, grocery store bakery, a cook. Okay, so so you get the point. The point is that while there are some exceptions to the general pattern of having more male-brained occupations versus female-brained occupations, we can clearly see the pattern that the majority of trans women on Reddit have more male typical occupational interest and proclivities, particularly for more technical aspects like software development, which is a highly male centric profession, because generally speaking, men are interested in things and women are interested in people. And this reflects, um, you know, a distinction in these occupational patterns. And no, it's not just because of sexism and discrimination. It's not because in software they discriminate and don't hire women. In fact, in software, they go out of their way to have quotas to try and hire more and more women, but they have a hard time doing that. And they will never achieve parity because most women are not interested in software programming. And in the countries that are the most egalitarian, such as in Sweden, the most feminist, the most egalitarian, the most equal, the least discriminating countries on the planet, such as like Sweden, you see an even greater discrepancy between these typical male pattern versus female pattern occupational interest. Why is this? Why do trans women show this interest in these more male-brained occupational interests? Because the most trans women, the majority, 80%, roughly speaking, of trans women are what's called the autogynephilic typology, or the autogynephilic etiology. So, in other words, their gender dysphoria results from an inversion of male heterosexuality. because the key thing to realize is that trans women are male and thus inherit the innate sex differences between males and females. Now, you do see some occupational pattern differences between, say, a homosexual transsexual, aka the trans women who are exclusively interested in men, versus the bisexuals and the heterosexuals, the trans women, the gynephilic um, trans women who, prior to the transition, they lived lives basically as regular straight guys, just regular straight men. And then after transition, they become trans lesbians. But the key thing is that these are not, females, a female soul trapped in the male body. These are male people who have all the innate sex differences typical of males. They're heterosexual males. It's just that their heterosexuality has become inverted as part of a fundamental sexual orientation, which is called autogynephilia, love of oneself as a woman. You are attracted to femininity, but you want to be feminine yourself. That is the whole, that is the core aspect which drives the majority of gender dysphoria in transsexual women. And that explains why there's such a stereotype of trans women being software programmers, because they're male brained, because they are heterosexual males who have an inverted heterosexuality. And that inverted heterosexuality drives them towards an interest in feminization, which develops gender dysphoria. And that gender dysphoria motivates them to go on to transition and take on this trans identity. So, okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.